booties for black girl nerds.
David and Jessie, my two opposite end of the spectrum personalities, and you both tickle me so much when you're together on the screen. Beginning with you, Jessie, what can Joe do to coexist with David and the other people in the company a little bit better? Because sometimes she seems to struggle to be a little warm and fuzzy, I guess you could say, with the rest of the staff. What can she do this season to make Mystic Quest a little bit more home with the family?
I think she could do a lot of things to get along better, but she won't. She doesn't really care about people liking her very much, unless it's somebody in a position of power. So yeah, I mean, she could be nice. She could write people thank you cards, and she could remember people's names and birthdays, but she's not going to do any of that.
Mm-hmm. What is that going to, is that nothing about that is going to change about her this season, or what will her journey be like?
Oh, well, we know that Joe's addicted to power. Last season, we watched her eyes widen every time her boss came into the room. Not the boss whom she's assisting, but the boss of the company, played by Rob McElhenney. And this season, we'll see her kind of jump ship from David Hornsby's character, David Brittlesby, onto a more powerful source of power.
Absolutely.
How'd I do?
David the character, every time I see David the character, I just think of the old Rodney Dangerfield. He just gets no respect. He gets no respect.
That's true. That's true. On and off camera. Let's note.
Oh, Jessie, are you doing David wrong off camera?
No, I laugh at all of his jokes and I worship him, so it's totally different off camera.
That's amazing. What's David going to be like? Can David get a little bit more respect? Are people going to respect his authority a little bit better?
This season, David will find is coming off of a breakup, and that's with his assistant Joe, but he will romantically find love, and he'll sort of get back out there in the dating world and romantically find love, and so we'll get to see him soar pretty high, I think, and we'll see what happens with that relationship.
Jessie, as you mentioned, Joe is wooed by power, but is she up to the task? She has the kind of alpha mean attributes that come with power, but just like the substance of it, can she handle that?
I think that she can. We'll see this season how far she gets and how it actually plays out, but she's definitely climbing the ranks and she gets pretty high on that mountaintop.
Mm-hmm. With David, back over to you. So David's navigating, he's looking for love, he's still trying to find his leadership strengths in the office. If you could switch him into any of the other roles, what do you think he would thrive at?
Well, I think he would love to be in a position of power like I am, to command a large room and a company, and to be a leader. I think he sees himself as a leader. But if he could, in fact, we actually dive into a little bit of the psyche and his dynamic with Ian in the very first episode, and tap into his dreams a little bit, what he does dream about at night.
Mm-hmm. Now returning back for a second season, Jessie, when you all get together, the chemistry, even though some of the characters are at odds, some of the characters really like each other, there's a beautiful chemistry, and the comedic abilities of all of you together is really something special. What do you guys do when you're in between takes? Do you have a mantra? Do you have a chant? Do you have little special things that you do to keep yourselves hyped and motivated when you're filming a show like this, since there's so many of you in an ensemble?
I mean, David jokes that we might be too close for coworkers. The women of the show have basically become roommates. We hang out constantly when we're all in the same town, and there's a text thread that we keep updated hourly. Someone asked, "How frequently do you talk to each other?" And I started laughing because I was like, "It's daily doesn't even cover it. We're constantly talking to each other." There's just a real sense of support. We're all really championing and cheering each other on. And a lot of us in the first season would show up for scenes that we weren't even in to watch the other actors perform their stuff, because it's just I'm a huge fan of the show, and so I get to watch scenes get shot that won't end up in the show, and I really love those moments. So yeah, I don't think that we have a chant or a mantra so much as just a huge sense of incredible ensemble support.
Awesome. Well, I thank you, you guys. I'm looking forward for folks to see the second season because I've had a lot of laughs. And thank you for your time.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Take
it.
care.
Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.